Alright, welcome back to Trains and Planes. We're out here with Kimchi. Hi, Kimmy. Okay, Kimmy's paying close attention because he saw the microphone cord come out. I'm using my other microphone cord. I have a 20-foot cord, and then I've got this one. This is the Movo cord. I've had these for a long time. The one I normally use is a Boya. And that's I think a 20-foot cable. This is the PM10 Movo, and it's like one's $1 less. I think this one's the lesser expensive one. So what I'm doing here is I'm taking my Lionel box and I'm taking my Trainworld box, and I'm trying to glue the pieces together, because what I've got here is this is the cloud backdrop that showed up, and on the other side of this, which I'm scraping around the floor and really shouldn't be, is I've got the GaugeMaster train scene. Alright, so I'm trying to make this a 24-inch high piece of cardboard, and using my coffee mug. There's Kimchi. Kimchi's washing the fan. And so I'm trying to be very careful about not moving this piece of cardboard, because I got that on the other side. Now, don't use tube white glue like that, because I did that for the first piece and I thought I'd ruined it, but then the very next day it got to be 100 degrees outside, which meant it was not about almost 90 degrees in my garage. That actually dried it all out. So what I'm going to try next is the Elmer's washable school glue. I'm going to use that. So basically it's a glue stick. Disappearing purple. Interesting. Trying to get these pieces glued on. Okay, so what I'm going to do is I flip this over. So all my little glue tabs, see I cut pieces of cardboard here and using those to glue this together. So while I got it over on the other side, it should hold it. So let me turn this over. There we go, and it held, barely. Alright, so this is what I was talking about. You can kind of see these little, just a little bit. They do show up in the green part right here, these little glue lines. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to put a little bit more. I don't have very much glue right there, so I'm going to put some glue there in the corner. Ugh. So we'll put it on there and see how this goes. Alright, there we go. Well, that took pretty quickly. Alright, so now what we're going to do is we're going to try putting a little layer right here. Alright, so I don't know if any of that showed up or not. Okay, so yeah, I did that. Alright, now I'm going to cap this up, and I'm going to put this down on there and press it down, because it takes a second or two to grab. So I probably should put another layer on there, but we want to get these lined up and press these down. Jimmy's such a good boy. Alright, so there is a visible line, which does make kind of a I don't know. And then to spare you all the boredom of it, I'm just going to continue filming, continue gluing, cutting cardboard and gluing, and we'll come back and see the entire finished process and how I put this up on the wall. Alright, we'll see you in a bit. Alright, and we're back to Trains and Planes. Alright, so I finished all 3 backdrops. I spared you an awful lot of really boring cutting of cardboard and gluing cardboard together. You'll notice a couple of small areas. I've got a couple areas I got tacked down. Hang on. Just a firm believer. Well, not a firm believer. It's just more my thing. I like to keep all my turnouts closed in the proper operating position when I'm not running. So that way everything's good. Okay, so here's what you see. Let's take a look. There's backdrop number 1. Backdrop number 2. Backdrop number 3. Okay, now number 3 was the first one I did. I need I might end up pulling this one up and redoing it, the top one, the cloud part, because that's kind of baggy. So I'll glue it from the bottom up. What I did is I glued from the top down. This end is the lower one is the first one I did, and I used liquid glue for that. The rest of this I used a glue stick. So if you're going to try copying this, doing this system, I would recommend you leave your corners here undone on the cardboard, and that way you can just screw it into the wall. If you're going to be mounting this permanently on your walls, and I didn't want to do that, I wanted to have it more on the cardboard, so that way I could, there we go, so that way you can see it, the cardboard. I can spread it out, I can move it around, I can take it down. If I decide to change it out, I can. This one, the center one, I think turned out the best. But if I need to, the glue stick is light enough that I can pull these off and re-glue them again without too much damage to it. So when you got it like that, you get the full effect. These aren't spread out, by the way, to their full distance. I'm missing about 1.5 inches over there and about 2 or 3 inches over there. So my big problem there right now, I'm not doing it to the full extent of the backdrop. Please feel free to comment if you like these. I really like the GaugeMaster backdrops. They look nice. They would have looked better if, without my terrible gluing job. This was the first time I ever tried gluing these down, so I didn't quite know how they would work. And of course I'm going to have some foreground trees and structures kind of blocking parts of the backdrop a little bit. This is supposed to be a small town in England, Lincolnshire or something like that. I don't know. I've never been to the UK, so I couldn't tell you. But this is a small town in England, and but it actually looks a great deal like many areas in New England, like the areas in New England that I grew up. So anyway, there you go. This is how the layout looks with the backdrop. Much better than without the backdrop. Say, like, subscribe, comment, and maybe that way Lionel or Williams can find us, or MTH, and start giving us trains. All right, thanks.